or J7 2016. The rear camera lens is also 28mm wide. Now let's launch the camera app, and as you know, you can double tap the home key to launch the camera anywhere, anytime, even when the phone is password locked, the screen is off, so it's a very handy feature. The autofocusing speed, the shutter speed of this camera is one of the best, I think, but of course the laser autofocus of Moto G4 Plus is faster. You have lots of camera modes including the Pro mode, which enables you to set a lot of settings. You can apply different effects, and I also like the beauty phase, which can airbrush your faces, make it slim with big eyes. Now it's time to check some camera samples. These images are captured in broad daylight, and the color rendering, the sharpness of the images are, I think, best in class. Samsung makes the best mid-range camera phones. There is no unnecessary over-sharpening like the Redmi Note 3 or Moto G4 Plus. The details, the dynamic range is much better than its competitors, so I'm overall extremely happy with the rear camera of Galaxy On Next. I will rate it 8.5 out of 10 considering the price tag. Let's now check some low-light indoor images, and once again the noise handling of this phone is superb. The saturation level is again very good, details are also maintained. But of course, the quality is not as good as a high-end device or semi-high-end devices like OnePlus 3. Considering this is a mid-range device, it's totally acceptable. If you want, you can check these images on my Facebook page, facebook.com/gadgetsportal.
Hey, what's up guys, this is Shukesh once again, and you are watching a video sample from the Samsung Galaxy On Next. It's recording in Full HD, and the cameras are basically same as the Galaxy J7 Prime.
Well, as you can see, the video quality of the rear camera on the Galaxy On Next is also awesome. The color recording and sharpness are really appreciable. There is no overexposure, the dynamic range and details are maintained. Overall, the video quality is excellent for a smartphone in this category. As I mentioned before, the autofocusing speed is also decent. There is no face detection or laser autofocus, but still it's quite nice, as you can see. I have uploaded this video sample into my channel, so check that out as well. Now let's have a quick look at an indoor video sample. As you can see, the noise level is still under control. There is only a single tube light or fluorescent lamp in this room right now, but still I think the details and the saturation level is quite good. Now let's look into some front camera samples. Of course, the image color recording is not as good as the rear camera, sometimes overexposed, but again this is a front camera, and compared to other smartphones in this category, I think this is one of the best front cameras. It's also wider than most of the other smartphones. Now I've taken some images side by side with the Galaxy On Next and the Galaxy On 8. On the left you have the On Next samples, and on the right the On 8. Though the image quality is very close, I have found that the images from the Galaxy On Next are more detailed. The color recording is also more accurate, and visibly On Next captures better quality images. Of course, the camera of On 8 is quite good, but the color recording, the green level, as you can see, is more saturated and detailed. It's now clear the saturation level on the Galaxy On Next samples are more pleasing. It's not oversaturated. On 8 looks slightly faded compared to its competitor. Now let's check the video quality, and I don't think there is any difference in the color recording, in sharpness or in autofocusing. If I look very closely, I might find some differences. Well, looks like just like photos, Galaxy On Next captures slightly more saturated and pleasant images. Let's now compare some camera samples from Moto G4 Plus and Galaxy On Next. On the left you have the On Next samples, and on the right the images captured by the Motorola device. Visibly, the G4 Plus captures more saturated images than On Next, but the details are actually not as clear. In fact, G4 Plus captures slightly noisy images even in daylight. If you look very closely, you will notice some texture, and as I just mentioned, the clarity of the images are not as good as Galaxy On Next. This flower is totally smudged on the Motorola sample, so in the camera department, the Samsung Galaxy On Next is the big winner. Let me check another sample. If you zoom 100%, then you can easily notice the difference. Well friends, we are at the end of this in-depth camera review, and indeed the camera on this Galaxy On Next is one of the best for a mid-range device. If you want a good camera phone,